Girl, I'm so glad they finally put this woman in the dirt. Oh my God. Y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck on. What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the King Aries video. Girl, let me tell you something. The 7th day, I enjoy watching the news, but I am not finna be watching the news and to be seeing, like, talk about this woman every day. Like, I just don't have it. Like, I just don't have it. I hope y'all are having a good Tuesday evening or Wednesday whenever you're watching this video. I always say there's a couple of things to talk about, but it is a lot going on. From Levine, girl, messy boobs. I might even talk about this last episode of Married to Medicine. I don't know, but Married to Medicine is crunk. She is good and crunk. Girl, let me tell you something. Toya gonna fight. Tacky Toya is Tacky Toya for a reason. Also, there's been an update on the whole Aries and Tiffany Haddish situation. We gotta talk about that. We also gotta talk about the Woman King, not in the review, but how the girls are reacting to it and how it did at the box office. Like, girl, let's talk about it. But before we get into any of that, let's go ahead and get to this mental health check-in. This mental health check-in is going to be about y'all, because y'all in my business. I'm going to see my therapist Friday. I hope y'all are doing good. There's a lot going on, just a lot. And I was reading this article the other day where they talked about, you know, the stressors that we deal in, like, today are not the stressors that folks were dealing with like way back when. Yes, you know, some things have gotten better, some things have gotten worse, but we consume a lot of stuff. And I've always thought, like, I don't think we're prepared. Like, I don't think our brains or our emotional being is suitable to be able to know all of the things that's going on in the world. And I remember on Patreon, someone asked, wanted us to have a conversation about, they wanted us on the next In the Middle episode to have a conversation about, you know, how we respond to Black death, like how we're desensitized to it. And we can see that in the memes. We can see that in how we laugh and we joke about stuff on social media. How we just, like, some stuff is just doesn't bother us because our brains naturally have, like, you know, become numb to it. And I think this is a great conversation. I'm trying to find that article and talk about it more. We did talk about it on Patreon a little bit. We did do it in the middle episode. It is on Patreon. It's 3 hours longer. It is very longer. I encourage y'all to watch if y'all have time. For the Kings Guard who own it, it will be posted sometime this month on YouTube, but I got to go in and clean it up because y'all ain't gonna get all that uncut footage. Girl, it was a lot going on, but I'm sending y'all positivity and love and all those other things because it's been a very trying 2 years in this pandemic. Even though, let Joe Byron tell it, the pandemic is over. We got to talk about that. So let's go ahead and get into the tea for today. So let's go ahead and just start with this PWI versus HBCU comment. So there was this black girl who goes to a PWI, this black woman, she said, hey, like, I started a majorette team at my PWI and I love it. And you know, they was dancing and getting it, whatever. And it started a big conversation, like, girl, HBCU versus PWI, and you know, we need to be gatekeeping this and all the other stuff. Girl, it was a lot. It took me back to the early 2010s where this guy by the name of Anti-Intellect used to run Twitter crazy talking about HBCU versus PWI. Like, it was like, he was very intelligent, but baby, he would be dragging it like, you need to be going to HBCU. If you want an HBCU experience, why you going to a PWI? He was just always uplifting HBCUs. And I feel like my mind has kind of changed on how I feel about HBCUs and stuff. Because all these like spaces are still out here gatekeeping knowledge and selling it. So it's like, girl, I get what people are saying. So let me just start in first and say, I don't think it's an issue for a homegirl to be out here, you know, finding a space and making a safe space for her. I don't think it's no issue at all. Like, black culture can exist with black people. And I don't see nothing wrong with it. Like, hey, some people don't go to HBCUs because they couldn't afford it. They like for whatever reasons. I know a friend who wanted to go to a predominant HBCU and didn't get in. Really wanted to, like their whole thing was just like, I wanted to go to this HBCU and they didn't get in, and they ended up getting in another institution that gave them a full ride scholarship. So, you know, some people have those, you know, stories. Some people don't have those stories. Some people's stories is they hate blackness. And I honestly ran across somebody on Twitter like that. If you follow me on Twitter, the King of Aries, there was this guy who said, I don't have to go to an HBCU to prove my blackness. Anytime a black person says, I don't have to do this to prove my blackness, there's very specific folks who do that. If you've been following me, you know there's a very specific person who has that conversation. I don't have to prove my blackness and da-da-da-da. It's always the folks who chase white men or who hates blackness. And he come to find out, somebody found some old tweets of him thirsting over white men, talking about he preferred European white men, Hispanic men. Like he just kept, it was really bad. Like I saw it, I said, girl, like I can smell it on you. And true enough, I went on Twitter, I saw all his likes. It was nothing but a bunch of naked white men. I was like, girl, y'all all have a look. Y'all all talk the same. I've been around so many black men who try to act like they like black men, but they don't, that I can smell it and I sense it on them. It does not, like, girl, I know y'all. So, yeah, there's some people who, you know, them dragging HBCUs is anti-black. And there's some folks like, no, I had to go where I could go and all that other stuff. But I'm also tired of this hierarchy of HBCUs and all this other stuff. When we got HBCUs that are having like student freshmen not able to secure housing in dorm rooms with mold growing. Like it's just a never-ending thing. Like it's like, I am tired. Like I don't care about these institutions. Somebody made a very, very good point, and I want to quote them because, you know, girl, I want to give the girls their things, but they were on it. So this person on Twitter named Charles Preston tweeted this and said, discourse on HBCUs versus PWIs tend to be regressive. If it's not about how black students and alumni can organize power to address needs in the areas that the universities gentrify or confront the capitalistic practices of the university, I don't engage. HBCU or PWI is U.S. capitalism and in cahoots with the military. What we talking about? People are arguing about comfortability in places where they gatekeep knowledge and networks for exorbitant fees. A lot of the discourse on Twitter is inherently class. Period. Ain't that up? Ain't that up? Like, I couldn't have said it no better way. Couldn't have said it no better way. Like, girl, I am not out here finna be defending these folks. Like, girl, you go to HBCU if you can, go where you're go. Like, we are all out here struggling. A lot of us are in student loans to our necks. Like, girl, go where you can go. We're not going to these, a lot of us are not going necessarily to these universities because they're going because they want a better life. And we've been told if we get better education, we get more educated or whatever, we'll be able to make more money. We're tired of just surviving. So it's very just unfortunate to see like this steady conversation and people are not understanding the nuance behind it. Like there's so many things, but girl, the girls don't want to hear that. When I say the girls, I mean everybody. I don't mean the girls, but you know what it is. But tell me how you feel about it, because I didn't have no issue with it. I did do a little research. I did not know that some black fraternities and sororities were founded at PWIs. There's a whole bunch of history. I tried to read up a little bit about that. But because I was thinking, like, if there's other things that exist at these PWIs, what is it? Like, yes, black folks deal with, you know, racism at the PWIs and stuff. And yes, black folks deal with other type of stuff at the HBCUs. Like, I've heard where there's some queer people don't feel comfortable. Like, you know, Morehouse and Spelman had a whole situation where they didn't want trans folks to go to their school. Like, girl, like they had all type of trash policies, and how Morehouse moves with their respectability. Girl, I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. But you know, it's a conversation, girl. I want to see y'all argue in the comments and be respectful. Let's talk about it. But let's move on to the next topic. Let's talk about the woman king. The woman king, baby. The Woman King has been eating in the theaters, baby. I haven't seen it. I have not seen it yet. I haven't had a chance to go see it, but I want to. But the girl, like, it did the things it was supposed to do. It made the coin. It did good at the box office for its first week. There was some stories about, the story being written by two white women or whatever who did the screenplay or whatever. But some people have debunked that and said, no, girl, like the director, who is a black woman, has been like very much a part of all of the, like the majority of this, like the writing and all types of stuff. Like she's been very, very involved, intentionally involved in all the things. So I'm interested in seeing the movie. I just haven't had time. I haven't been to a movie in a minute. But since Joe Byron said the pandemic is over, let me go ahead and go to the movies with no mask on, period. But if you've seen it, let me know what you thought about it. I've heard really good things. A lot of folks said that it was just, it ate. Like they said they were stunning. The screenplay, the writing was just really, really good. As long as I see no black person fall in love with no white person, no colonizer, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Now, what I did scream is y'all bullied Viola Davis to delete her tweet about Her Majesty the Queen. They said, girl, you out here got this movie about this black stuff. You out here about fighting colonizers. You out here praising the colonizer who's deceased. We love Viola Davis, and I'm glad that she deleted that tweet. But if you see The Woman King, let me know. Comment below. Talk about it. Let's talk about Lizzie is gone. And they finally put homegirl in the dirt. Girl, I am tired. Like, it was dragging on. Like, oh my God, but y'all were, oh my God, y'all was killing me. Y'all was taking, I should wear a crown. And y'all know I do not like gospel music like that. But that had me hollering. They had replaced some of the videos of the services and stuff. They started playing with gospel music. Oh my God, but when they did that RuPaul thing, oh, I could not get no work done that day. The woman can't wait. If you're not following me on, on Instagram, you're missing the stuff. Like, what I'm giving RuPaul. If you're not following RuPaul or such and such, whatever you be saying. But I'm glad Lizzie is finally in the dirt, girl. It's a mess. I have been seeing some clips of King Charles, like snatching, like, catching attitudes and stuff, because stuff ain't moved out the way. I really think this is the beginning and the end of The Crown. I think people are not going to take a liking to King Charles. I'm very curious of how that's going to go. They might actually make me go back and watch The Crown, to be honest, because I want to know that. But, for the folks who do live in the UK, what has been the perception of everything that's been going on? Because I know, he just lost his mother, so I know his approval rating will be kind of high. So I wonder, like, what's going on? What do y'all think for the folks who do live, for the black and brown folks who are in these spaces? Let me know. What else I'm going to talk about? Let's talk about Joe Biden deciding that the pandemic is over. The pandemic is over. So Joe Biden did an interview, and he was walking and talking, and he just said, hey girl, the pandemic, she's over with. And the way he said it automatically reminded me of what George Bush said when he said mission accomplished. Girl, what did he say that for? The Iraq war? He said a mission accomplished. Girl, it was giving, girl, what? We've been over there, how long? You talking about some mission accomplished? Girl, it's not giving that. So Biden said it's over, but people are still passing away. People are still dying. And this is so complex because there has been what people seem to think is a sense of normalcy. People are stopping wearing, like I was at Whole Foods today. There was not that many masks. Like, some folks in Whole Foods do wear masks, but I went to Publix the other day, no mask. Hardly any mask. People are going out and not wearing masks. It's making me even more relaxed than I normally am. Like, it's making me more relaxed. Like, normally I'd be like, oh, mask. But there have been some times where I don't have my mask on. And I feel pressured when I do have on a mask and going in places, like I just don't want to deal with no drama. Like, And I just like, I don't want to be like, even when I go to the barbershop, I usually wear my mask all the way because they would not wear their mask shot. Even, girl, it was ridiculous. But the pandemic might look over, but it's not. People are still passing away. People are still dealing with long COVID. Like people with disabilities, people with compromised immune systems are still nervous, like myself, as a person living with HIV. I don't want to be sick. I'm so nervous. I think that I've been really nervous about getting sick, even worse than I have in the past. I'm, currently on my medicine, like all of my stuff is right. My T cells, everything is looking good. But I got sick kind of bad, but not really, really bad in December. And I just was like, I had strep and I was just like, oh my gosh, she is taking me out of here. And I was just like, girl, I hope this is not COVID because I just don't want to be like sick like that. It's just so much people are asking, well, why are there not that many workers at this, like, what's going on and da-da-da-da. Like, we've lost a lot of people, like a lot of people in the workforce have passed away. Like a lot of folks have died from COVID. A lot of people are dealing with long COVID too. We don't know like what happens 10 years after having COVID. Like there'll still be studies about like the long-term effects of COVID. But there's been like some stuff that's came out, recently about it. So like the pandemic is not over. I would not say the pandemic is over. But I think we have to move, meaning the U.S. has to move towards it being over for the quote unquote the economy to survive. I think that's what's going on, and you can like really, really see that. Like they say, girl, now get y'all back to work. Return to these offices. Like these offices need to be rented out. Like we need money flowing through all the other stuff. And there's a fears of recession. I know FedEx CEO. Said last week, and girl caused the stocks to go down. I was like, hey girl, we slowing down, like something's going on. We're not shipping as much, we're not moving. I think a lot of these companies are not necessarily responding to that. I think we're responding to people are demanding more money. You're seeing unions form all over the country. Like folks are striking, like you just had the railroad situation. Like folks are like, hey girl, we not gonna be doing all this and we need more money. And these companies do not want to pay, so now they're trying to use this as I feel like they're using this as a reason to freeze hiring because that's what FedEx said they were doing and cutting hours. So girl, all this stuff is a scam. All of it is a scam, girl. But this video is kind of long, so we're gonna move on. So let's talk about this Adam Levine situation, baby. Woo! You talking about messy boots? This is some messy, messy stuff. So Adam Levine. Girl, this TikToker did a video and she basically said that she's been having an affair with Adam Levine. Girl, she said that they've been talking for like a year and a half and they've been talking for a minute since he's been married. And she said that Adam Levine wanted to name one of his kids after her. And what? Wow, the pressure is getting worse. Like, girl, this is bad. So he has now responded to his to this accusation and stuff on Instagram and said a lot has been said about me right now and I want to clear the air. I use poor judgment in speaking with anyone other than my wife in any kind of flirtatious manner. I did not have an affair. Nevertheless, I crossed the line during a regrettable period in my life. Now, the girl name is Sumner Stroh. And she said, at the time I was young, I was naive, and quite frankly, I feel exploited. And there's so many things with this because there, clear, some power dynamics, clear power dynamics with Adam Levine talking to this girl, but also the kids and the wife, like to say, I want to name my child after you. Oh my God, like, oh, that is girl, that is another level of kink activated. Like, girl, are you okay? Are you okay? Oh my God, I just feel so bad the wife, she said the reason why she kind of did it is because a friend that she shared the screenshots with, you know, threatened to like sell it to the tabloid. So that was her reasoning for coming out saying that. And I can believe that. I can believe that. Like, yeah, girl, like, you know, this is what it is. But, girl, they had Twitter on fire. Like, it started on TikTok and it made its way to Twitter. And girl, like, they would, ooh, it was a lot. It was a lot, girl. I was shook. I was like, oh my God, like, I was like, this cannot be real. This cannot. I'm always like shook by some stuff that's going on. I'm like, this cannot be real. They'd be like, nope, this is real. So let's move on. Let's talk about this Cardi B. Girl, Cardi B said, Tasha K, I don't care about you flying the coop and taking your it's the Zamunda. You gon' pay. Girl, Cardi B said, I got you. I got you. I got you. What mother Evelyn say? I got you. Say one more word and I got you. So, Tasha K, Tasha K has still been talking mess. She's still been talking mess and throwing shots at Cardi B. And Cardi like, okay, girl, I got you, girl. Like, I'm gonna let you know what the tea is. And now Tasha K might be about to get her coins garnished. Now, this is coming from Radar Online. Cardi B has started the process to seize property and assets owned by the blogger, falsely accusing her of having herpes and being an escort. According to court documents obtained by Radar Online, Cardi B has filed paperwork in Georgia to start the process of collection. Cardi demanded Chase and its employees hold all of Tasha's property, money, wages, and other assets, including property and safe deposits or similar property. The rapper demanded Chase answer questions about the amount of money Tasha has at the institution. Tasha has rushed back to the court pleading for the federal judge who presided over the civil suit to step in. She argued the appeal is still pending and collections aren't allowed until this decision is made. Tasha pleaded with the court to state execution, but the judge had yet to rule. Girl, like, Tasha K just does not get it. Like, oh my God, there is no remorse. And she acts as if the judge is not seeing this. Like, you've been ordered to shut up, to stop talking, and you keep saying this girl name, you keep saying stuff, and you over here wearing this, you know, whatever this thing was on your head, like a hijab. I don't know what she had a scarf over her head. And it's like, girl, like, she over here, she said she over here in different countries or doing whatever, like, cause I know her husband is from, I know he's from, I think probably West Africa, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know what part he's from, but girl, like, she just consistently put herself in situations where she can just shut up. And I remember had a conversation with a friend said, there is a way for Cardi B to be able to garnish her YouTube coins. Like, there's been folks who had their YouTube coins garnished before. Like, it's possible. And Cardi B has the money to be able to pay lawyers to go after this stuff. This ain't no situation where somebody who's smaller, you know, don't want to spend the money, like, will feel like they've run through. Like, no. Cardi B said, girl, I have a point to prove. I have a point to prove. And girl, ooh, like, I feel like Tasha K should just shut up. But her pride just won't let her shut up, and she just keeps talking about it. And it's very disappointing. Like, girl, you putting yourself in you're putting yourself in harm's way by saying all this. Just shut up, mama, just shut up. You can't do that, just for a second. So let's talk about Tiffany Haddish and the Aries Spears situation. I can't talk about it in too much because y'all know this is YouTube, girl. So I'm gonna do as best I can, but I will say there's been an update. Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears child molestation suit dismissed. Jane Doe speaks out. So the suit is being dismissed. Now, this is what TMZ is saying. Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears are no longer fighting a child lawsuit against them, but we've learned that Jane Doe, who filed the suit, has now dismissed it for good. Per new docs obtained by TMZ, the plaintiff asked the judge to dismiss the case with prejudice, meaning it cannot be refiled. Y'all recall the case involved allegations two comedians groomed and molested two children several years ago. The woman who sued both of them has also issued a statement saying, my family and I have known Tiffany Haddish for many years, and we now know that she would never harm me or my brother or help anyone else do anything that could harm us. We wish Tiffany the best and glad that we can put this behind us. The Jane Doe did not have anything to say about Aries in her remarks, was also accused of some pretty heinous stuff in the suit, but he's also in the clear. In the lawsuit, the alleged victim claimed both she and her brother were both used. In the lawsuit, the alleged victim claimed both she and her young brother were used by Tiffany and Aries to film scene skits that, when looking back, were wildly inappropriate and which Jane Doe suggested was meant to be sexual, to sexualize them. Now I've seen the video, unfortunately, like somebody posted on my timeline, I just, end up seeing it. And it was pretty bad. It looked really bad. I think it's so bad to the point that people are not even reposting it as much because it is harmful content. And that is another conversation. Like normally folks say, hey girl, this is what happened. The same thing with Tory Lanez and the August Alsina situation. Like people reposting the video, and other stuff. But like folks are like, no, this is not giving at all. I'm actually glad that folks are not posting it like that. But I'm guaranteeing you probably there has been some money. Like, I guarantee you Tiffany Haddish, like she had to give a bag. I guarantee you she or her team or whoever gave them a nice check. I would not be surprised. Like, girl, and it does not mean that the victims didn't experience these things, because seeing that they were clearly victims of something. And I know Tiffany Haddish was probably thinking like, girl, if this goes to trial, if this goes to what's the name, your career is done. Whatever money you think you're going to make in the next couple of years or whatever won't even matter. So you might as well spend it right now on this and let this go away. I guarantee you her lawyers told her that. I guarantee you they told her that. I did a little video. I was disgusted about some of the stuff like people were saying about Aries Spears and all that other stuff. Like this was the voodoo for talking about Lizzo. I'm like, there's so many things, like folks say ugly stuff about fat folks all the time, especially about fat, dark-skinned black women. So like, girl, like karma doesn't work in a way to harm kids. Like these kids are victims, they were harmed. So karma should not work like that. Like these kids shouldn't have to experience that to get back at Aries. I wish folks did not think like that, but people are disgusting. So the whole situation, I'm glad that it's kind of like gone, but I'm like, I wonder and very curious at how Tiffany Haddish is going to like rebound after this, because it was not looking good for homegirl. It was not looking good for her, honey. It was not. But girl, I know she's probably happy, and now we're gonna see Tiffany Haddish probably rebrand. I guarantee you we're gonna see Tiffany Haddish rebrand and clean up her stuff or whatever. And I'm very curious to see how that's gonna go. But girl, those are my thoughts on all the subjects we had, all the content that we had today. I hope y'all enjoying y'all Tuesday evening, whatever y'all receiving this, whenever y'all watching this. Make sure you're subscribed to my Patreon for other content, behind the scenes stuff, and content that I don't post online to the public. I love y'all. Until next time, I'll talk y'all later. Bye.